Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to my channel. I hope you are great. Disclaimer. This video reflects my personal opinions and commentary. It is not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. So I am seeing videos of people talking about how a woman got fired while she was off. All right. And you are going to see the reason why she was fired. Some people think probably because they are a star or probably because they are a little bit famous, they can come out and say what they feel like saying to other people without consequences. But then being a celebrity or being a public figure and when you are under somebody, nothing is guaranteed. I hope you know that. So you were off and you were called to, they were called to tell you that you've been fired or they released a statement. It's disgraceful. Now, let me tell us something. Being a public figure and being smart at the same time, it's a different kind of maturity. Know when to speak, know what to speak, know how to speak, no time not to, you should know when to shut up and when not to shut up. Some of you think that it is okay to come out every time, every minute to scream, to shout, and to do whatever you want to do and all that. Talk to people in a very disrespectful way and think you will get away with it. At this point in time, you've been fired from work. They fired you on live television, more like it, because they released a statement and you were home. Let's get into it.
The boot from Roni like 15 years ago. And ever since then, she has been eager, thirsty, if you will, to get back on our TV screens. She wants to be a series regular so bad. And a few weeks ago, she got her wish. E announced a new show or a spinoff featuring the OG Roni housewives, including Jill. She got to be included with the ladies who were on the show like 10 years longer than her. I'm sure she was thrilled. Thrilled. I honestly was undecided if I was going to watch or not because them, like 3 of them are now in Florida and they got real Florida Mar-a-Lago coded. And I was like, I don't know about that. I'm unsure. And then Jill opened her mouth this weekend and solidified that I wasn't going to be watching. Jill got on, was it this app or some app, telling us her opinion of the Bad Bunny halftime show. Ain't nobody ask you, Jill. Ain't nobody ask you. And because she ran her mouth, Variety just announced that she has actually got the boot from the new show. No one asked her opinion, and now her dream that she's waited 15 years for to get back on TV as a series regular is gone because you thought we needed to hear your opinion, your racist opinion about the halftime show. Talking about it needed to be, it was horrible. It needed to be in English. What a way to celebrate 250 years of America. Well, let me say something. Colonialism is part of that history. And Puerto Rico is a colony, was colonized by America. Seems pretty accurate to me. The commentary was disgusting. It was unnecessary. Nobody asked her. She could have sat there and ate her food, kept her opinion in her own household with her daughter and her boyfriend, and nobody would have known, and she would have got to be back on TV fulfilling her dream. But nope, Jill had to run her mouth. And I know that she's probably just like shocked because Jill definitely thought that she was going to be like the center of this show forever. She was, and they positioned her to be the center apple of this show. She was supposed to be the Vicky Gunvalson of Roni, and she kept running her mouth, decided to be a producer and meddle with that relationship between her and Bethany and create a storyline, and they picked Bethany. Now, Bethany irks as well, and apparently had a video of her doggone stuff over here. I didn't see it, but Bethany's annoying to me in her current state. But if you were on that rise with Bethany when she had that little small apartment at the first season of Roni and where she's at today, it was really fun to watch. So they picked right in picking Bethany over Jill, and she ain't never forgot it. But once again, I guess I say she didn't forget it, but if she was thinking, but you know what? There has been an emboldening of that kind of behavior and commentary because of who's in the White House. So she thought she would be good, but they talk about that. There's a lot of crossover with Bravo fans and CNN and a lot of liberal Bravo fans. And so I think they were already getting a lot of pushback. Not a lot, but already getting commentary about this, the MAGA coded Roni spinoff. And then you got Jill just confirming it for people like me. So now she got the boot, child, because she don't know how to be quiet. If Ramona could sit up here and not say anything online, it shouldn't be that hard. Truly. But good riddance, Jill. Also, too, Zarin Fabrics, which she doesn't own anymore, they posted a picture of her with a red X on it on Instagram saying she is not part of our company. We don't agree with her at all. Her comments are disgusting. You know Jill. Jill is very into what people think and how she's perceived. I know she's over there losing it. But again, being quiet is free. Like, people are going to have inappropriate opinions, but I hate the emboldening that people think these opinions is already or should be put out here on open platforms. You shouldn't think it because it's ignorant, but to put it online, just not smart.
Jill Zarin is shocked that she was fired from the show. And not only that, but she thought her video could be a teachable moment that they talked about on the show. Really can't make this stuff up. The only comment she gave to In Touch was, "They didn't give me a chance. I took it down right away. People make mistakes. I'm human." Well, geez, I didn't know racism was a mistake. And TMZ apparently spoke to sources. Let's take a look at what they said. Sources familiar with the situation told TMZ that Jill believes she was punished for expressing an opinion, while other housewives have said or done far worse without facing similar consequences. See, an opinion would have been, "I didn't like the hip thrusting. Oh, the performance wasn't my cup of tea." We would have seen right through those comments, but that's not flat out racism. She sat there saying America's been around for 250 years, 75 years for the Super Bowl, and they put on a full Spanish speaking performance and no white people in the entire thing. Exactly what part of that was a mistake? Especially when she doubled down in the comments when people told her that this video would get her into trouble. But let's continue because it gets funnier. People close to Jill have told us they strongly dispute accusations that her comments were insensitive, insisting anyone who personally knows her would say that characterization is unfair. And firing her especially hurt because she was the driving force behind the new show. Sources close to her are saying that she's confused by what she views as cancel culture, explaining she quickly deleted the post after realizing she misspoke. After rewatching the performance, she better understood its cultural importance and felt terrible. You know, she couldn't get that the first time. She had to watch it a second time to really understand that. We're told Jill is upset people interpreted her remarks as targeting a broader group, even though, you know, she mentioned ICE in that video, but that's fine. And here's the kicker. Sources close to Jill says she's bummed producers didn't use the teachable moment as an opportunity on the show, suggesting the women could have addressed the matter on camera with her. Jill, sweetie, I know you're 80 years old, but let's teach you that being racist is very bad. Por favor, come mierda.
Whoa, major breaking Bravo news. Jill Zarin has just been fired by E! From The Golden Life. The reboot that she got for E! For all the women, Kelly Benjamin, Ramona Singer, Luann de Lesseps, Jill Zarin, and Sonia Morgan were all set to return in The Golden Life, which was set to film in Florida. And Jill went and posted this scathing video about Bad Bunny's performance. She called the NFL a sellout. It was brutal. It was a brutal video. Sonia threw her under the bus. Luann basically threw her under the bus. Like, all the Bravo world completely came for Jill Zarin. And now it's officially been reported that Jill has been fired from the show that she essentially helped set up, which I think is wild. Crazy. What do you guys think? Like, I think that this is wild. I didn't expect them to actually fire her from the series, but it looks like she's officially gotten the boot.
This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is what I like to see. Let's get into it. So you see it for yourself. Yes, Jill Zarin has been fired from her new reality TV show that was supposed to come out on E! Network called The Golden Life. And the reason why she was fired is because she made some very racist and problematic statements about Bad Bunny's performance. And this is what I want to say. First of all, I never take joy in anyone being fired, especially in this economy. Jill has a cute coin. She will be absolutely fine. I'm pretty sure she won't even miss it. But the point has been made. You cannot be reckless with your mouth. Now, I don't know what you think it is, but what you thought it was not it. And girlfriend, they gave you your walking papers, and I do not feel bad for you. When you posted that post about Bad Bunny's performance, I believe you said in that post that your daughter and your boyfriend told you would be canceled. Jill, you should have listened. Sometimes you can't talk about everything. I don't know how comfortable people think they're getting in this climate, and they may feel like the gloves are off and they can just say whatever they can say. But no, you cannot. And the backlash was swift. People did not like what you said. They did not feel what you said. And you lost your job. You know, you ain't even start. How you get fired on your day off, Craig? Okay, let me know if you know that reference in the comments. But you hadn't even started the job good yet, and you got fired, and can't blame no one but yourself. But my question is, if you won't fire Jill, what about Crazy Eyes Ramona right here? Okay, she is just as problematic, if not more problematic than Jill. Now, if you know, you know, but Ramona was so problematic, i.e. racist, with fellow castmate Ebony Williams, that they had to cancel the show, cut the show short, because her behavior was so atrocious and, once again, racist to Ebony. So my thing is, what's good for the gander, meaning Jill, is good for the goose, meaning Ramona. And what are you going to do about Ramona? We on everybody's behind around here, so inquiring minds want to know. But as always, I want to hear from all of you. Do you think that Jill deserved to be fired? Yes or no? Sound off in the comments. If you found value in this post, please make sure to like as well as share. And don't forget to follow the Black Death Society for more.
Oh my gosh, fired? Dang, E did not play about Miss Jill Zarin. Obviously, it's the right thing to do. Do we think that they're going to keep up the reboot? Well, reboot. And if so, who are they going to replace? I had a couple of thoughts. Honestly, one of the most underrated housewives, just because she was a little weird and her husband was a little weird, Alex McCord. I know she doesn't live in the U.S. She lives in Australia, but I would love to see Miss Alex McCord on the reboot. But honestly, she's honestly too good for them. But I just feel like she's so underrated because she's a little quirky. But I am happy to hear that she's on the Ultimate Girls Trip, or in an episode of that. Obviously, we still have Sonia, Luann, and Ramona. Dorinda doesn't live in Florida. I don't know, like, can they keep it alive? Can they keep it going? Obviously, Bethany blew all those chances when she made her an obnoxious statement that she's now deleted as well. But yeah, I didn't think they would be this swiftly in regards to letting Jill go. I thought they were going to see if it blew over, but they said, no, we're not playing any games, which thankfully is the right move. Also, Zarin Fabrics, which my heart just hurts for Bobby, because I'm like, that's his like life and legacy. And but they put out a statement again addressing it, nipping in the bud, and they said, look, Jill has had nothing to do with us for years, and we do not agree with anything that she said, because obviously that's a huge part of Bobby and Jill's story in the beginning seasons was Zarin Fabric. But not only is she losing followers, she's lost an opportunity to be on this show that would have made her money. I think she's like some sort of candle, home goods, some kind of business. I've never bought anything from her. So that's going to like tank. She really screwed herself on this. And it's one of those things where I don't feel bad, because what she said was so crazy and wild that, yeah, this is what was coming to her. But yeah, I was shocked how swiftly they took her away from the legacy, or New York Housewives legacy, or whatever it's called. But again, do we think they're going to fill it with somebody else? And if so, who do you think they're going to fill it with? Or do we think that they're going to scratch the whole thing completely? Let me know your thoughts in the comments.
Now, Jill, how you get fired on your day off? Yes, you heard that right. Jill Zarin has been fired from E's reboot of the OG Roni cast called The Golden Life that was set to start filming very soon in West Palm Beach, Florida. Jill made some very shocking comments after Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show, where she said things like, I don't understand why it all had to be in Spanish, that there was not one white person on the stage, which I thought Lady Gaga was white, not even trying to be funny, I thought it was, but she said that was no white people, that it was inappropriate, she felt like it was some type of political statement, and she just didn't care for it. She also made comments about her not being able to recognize Lady Gaga, that she had to Google her because of her her facelift, and I was like, very rich, because if you saw that, rich coming from her, because if you saw the video, girl, you look like you done had 2 or 3 yourself. So the Variety article says Jill Zarin, an OG cast member of The Real Housewives of New York City, has been fired from E! reunion series The Golden Life, which was announced on February 3rd, before the show was even entering into production. Zarin, famously a master of disaster, has been ousted due to a self-inflicted wound. You brought this on yourself, girl. The show's producers, Blink 49 Studios, issued a statement on Tuesday cutting ties with Zarin. In light of recent public comments made by Jill Zarin, Blink 49 Studios has decided not to move forward with her involvement in The Golden Life. We remain committed to delivering the series in line with our company's standards and values. So the show will go on with Ramona, Luann, Kelly, and Sonia. Jill is being left behind, which I wasn't watching for her anyway. I'm also not watching for Ramona. I honestly kept clicking her page to see if she came up there and said any foolishness too, because she would have been next on the cancel list, but she knew to keep her cool. The other housewives showed their support of Bad Bunny and his halftime show, and made it clear that they do not stand for the comments that Jill made. I'll keep you posted on this story, but it's your girl V with Reality Recap. Peace.
This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And this is what I like to see. Let's get into it. So you see it for yourself. Yes, Jill Zarin has been fired from her new reality TV show that was supposed to come out on E! Network called The Golden Life. And the reason why she was fired is because she made some very racist and problematic statements about Bad Bunny's performance. And this is what I want to say. First of all, I never take joy in anyone being fired, especially in this economy. Jill has a cute coin. She will be absolutely fine. I'm pretty sure she won't even miss it. But the point has been made. You cannot be reckless with your mouth. Now, I don't know what you think it is, but what you thought it was not it. And girlfriend, they gave you your walking papers, and I do not feel bad for you. When you posted that post about Bad Bunny's performance, I believe you said in that post that your daughter and your boyfriend told you would be canceled. Jill, you should have listened. Sometimes you can't talk about everything. I don't know how comfortable people think they're getting in this climate, and they may feel like the gloves are off and they can just say whatever they can say. But no, you cannot. And the backlash was swift. People did not like what you said. They did not feel what you said. And you lost your job. You know, you ain't even start. How you get fired on your day off, Craig? Okay, let me know if you know that reference in the comments. But you hadn't even started the job good yet, and you got fired, and can't blame no one but yourself. But my question is, if you won't fire Jill, what about Crazy Eyes Ramona right here, okay? She is just as problematic, if not more problematic than Jill. Now, if you know, you know, but Ramona was so problematic, i.e. racist, with fellow castmate Ebony Williams, that they had to cancel the show, cut the show short, because her behavior was so atrocious and, once again, racist to Ebony. So my thing is, what's good for the gander, meaning Jill, is good for the goose, meaning Ramona. And what are you going to do about Ramona? We on everybody's behind around here, so inquiring minds want to know. But as always, I want to hear from all of you. Do you think that Jill deserved to be fired? Yes or no? Sound off in the comments. If you found value in this post, please make sure to like as well as share. And don't forget to follow the Black Death Society for more.
Jill Zarin from The Real Housewives of New York has been fired from E's new show, The Golden Life, after a racially charged rant. Now, after the halftime show that Bad Bunny performed in, she went on IG and posted this video where she's complaining about the performance being in Spanish, how she feels like it should have been English. She said she feels like this was a political statement because there were not any white people on the stage, and she feels like he was trying to send a message out to like ICE. She also started to talk about Lady Gaga. She said that Lady Gaga has had a facelift so bad that they could not recognize her. She had to Google her face. She also states that they spent the most of the halftime trying to guess who she was, and that made a fun little game. She talked about Bad Bunny groping or grabbing his G area multiple times and kids watching. Y'all, she just went on a full-blown rant about this being the 250th year and how this performance should have been done in English. Well, in English,
Blink 49 Studio has released her from the show, and the show will go on. Now, I really find the facelift comments a little bit strange because Jill herself has had a facelift back in, I think, 2024. So why are you speaking on somebody else who has never had a record of having a facelift? I don't know, y'all, but this is the information we have. Once I have some more, I will let you all
All
know.
I got from this video, sometimes you don't have to jump into there are some certain things you don't have to jump into, probably because you needed your voice to be heard. When you become a public figure, there are some certain things that comes with being a public figure. That is learning how to speak, knowing how to speak, knowing when to speak, knowing when not to speak. All these are very important. But when you miss it, trust me, you've missed it. And she missed it because she coming out to blab. Because, yeah, it is blabbing. You are trying to you were not making any point. You see, let me tell us something. We almost not like ice cream, right? And we understand it. There are some people that do not like ice cream, but some people do not have any reason why they do not have ice cream, right? Which is understandable. Some probably they are lactose intolerant. Different opinions by different people, if you ask, right? But when you start creating unnecessary problem, when you have never tested an ice cream before, so what are you trying to tell me? You said you do not like his song, and because it's what, like, it was in Spanish. I don't understand how some people do not understand that they are not the only one that exists. I want you to understand that I exist. And other people too exist. It is not only me on this planet. I have different people from different places that really do exist. Right? Allow them to exist in peace. If you want to align yourself with your own, you can do it quietly and do not piss other people off. Probably because you do not want to be in community with them. It's okay not to be in community with everybody. It is perfect. But what you say to them matters. With all the blabbing you did yesterday, you never apologized till like midnight on Tuesday. And then she was off. She was off and she was sacked while she was off. What a day. Sometimes we act tough on camera while we don't have like the highest or the biggest position. You could actually be tough. You can imagine me. I work under somebody, and you can imagine me from nowhere trying to criticize my boss in a denigrating way. If I come back the next day at work, or maybe I am disrespecting her in a group, and then I am off, come back the next day at work to find out that I've been sacked, would that be shocking? Of course, it won't be shocking, because it's not my father's job or my father's place of work. So when you are under somebody, what you say matters. How you carry yourself as a human being matters too. I will draw the curtain here. Bye for now.